We are live. Awesome. Well, I'm actually going to, you guys, I don't think have seen it yet. We have a little intro video. So kind of give some people some time to join us here. So let's go ahead and play this.
Okay.
Awesome. Now we are live. I love the little video because not only gives everybody time just to kind of join us, but also just kind of sets the tone with all the fun music. So, welcome to our Winners Wednesday session where we interview top producers, agents, brokers, team leaders from all over the country. And I'm sure if this is not your first time joining us, you will recognize these two as they are so gracious to give us their time once a month. Miss Jaybee Hawkins, all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Mr. Ruben Garcia from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Good
We
morning.
should swap our waves next time, JB. Like,
Yeah, let me practice.
yeah, when she interviews you, I'll wave, so everyone's like, "Whoa, weird." It's not who I would have thought JB would have looked like.
There we go. Next time, Ruben. Next time.
Yeah.
Awesome. I see Maria here is saying good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've got Mr. Ricky says he's here. So we appreciate your time. And hopefully we're going to give you some jam-packed knowledge and some tips for this year. And I don't know about what you guys, but one of the questions that I'm getting the most right now is going into Q4, how do I finish the year strong? I mean, obviously, we just came off the summer months. Interest rates are high. Everything's kind of shifted in the market. Everybody kind of slows down for the summer. But we're starting to look into Q4. How do we finish the year strong? And more importantly, that's going to lead into Q1 of 2024. So, are you all getting that question from your teams right now? And how are you kind of helping prep them to not only, have a successful year, but really finish strong, setting them up for success going into next year?
Well, I think right now, now's the time to double down. There's a lot of realtors, they kind of take this last quarter and do all the things. All the holidays are coming. They take some time off. They just come off a crazy summer, spring market. So I think a lot of people are kind of let the foot off the gas this time of year, and we do the exact opposite. We're getting, our lead gen is doubling, and we just hit it even harder this last quarter.
Yes, I thought I was muted. I was looking for the mute. I am not muted. Good. Keep taking notes and share if you don't mind. Share. Yeah. So where I mean, like, what do you think? What month do you guys think we're in right now?
October.
So I'll be the one to go,
we're in September, but we're working October.
I would say we're working 90 days out, but yes, I'm just going to go with September just to play along.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we're not. We're in December. I used to because it's a 90-day business, right? So I used to wear a Christmas tie to the team meetings during these team meetings, right? Because I want to remind everyone what you do today is literally going to be helping buy some of those Christmas presents if you so desire. But you're exactly right, JB. A lot of these agents do let go of the gas, which, ironically enough, I love, because that only creates more opportunity for us, the ones who are staying consistent, the ones who are treating it like a business. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's huge. See this as a huge opportunity for if you've fallen behind on your goals, this is a perfect time to like fill in the gap, because a lot of those agents say these are the agents. This many are actually going to stay consistent, which gives you this much gap to fill with your own activities and get the leads that are coming from these activities. So yeah, I would say number one, absolutely take care or jump into this opportunity of all these agents letting their foot off the gas. I love this time of the year.
Well, there's a lot of market share to grab. There's way more opportunities because there's less agents working right now. So yeah, ton of opportunity.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, I was talking to one of the agents here locally in Edmond, and he was like, "Hey, November, December, always my busiest months." And I was like, "Why?" And he said the same thing. I double down while everybody else is taking a break, which breaks are great. I mean, obviously, with the holidays, you need to spend time with your family and your friends and those that you love. But with that said, I would almost ask myself, can I afford a break right now? I mean, we all know Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever holidays that you honor, those are just one day. Doesn't mean you have to take off the whole month of November and the whole month of December. So, and as Ruben and Jaybee just mentioned, we operate in 90-day cycles, which is awesome because we can reset like that. We're very lucky in the real estate industry to be able to reset quickly. So as they just mentioned, the activities you're doing now are setting you up for December. And if you're not busy right now, I would ask, what did you do 90 days ago in reverse, right? So, I think that's great advice. I would say, just like you guys are doubling down. This is the slower season. So this is the time to reevaluate your business. When we talk about business planning, don't wait until January 1st to start looking at your business plan. Start looking at that now. What worked this year? What didn't work? What things do you need to change? I know Glenn Sanford, the founder of EXP, he mentioned this to us months ago during our private mastermind. This is a time now more than ever to go back to those foundational skills. I don't care if you've been in the business 2 years or 20 years. We have to go back to the things. What worked when you first got into the business? Was it door knocking, or was it cold calling? Was it mailers? Whatever it was, get back to that because times have changed. So kind of leading into, let's say, agents are like, okay, I hear you. I realize I need to double down. I don't know what I need to double down doing. I don't even have a business plan. Where do I get started?
I'll let you take this one, Ruben.
There is a reason why we are running track right now, which is the locker room. Honestly, I wore this long sleeve because we're going to be walking land today and I don't want ticks all over me, which they're going to get on me, but this is easier to knock off. But oddly enough, this works for this conversation, right? This is why we do the locker room track plus program now. We're starting in like 2 weeks. It's a nationwide one. So, I guess DM if you want to be a part of it, but in the first week, the first and second week, that's what we're hammering out is your business plan. And it just very simply, what is your goal, whatever that is? Why is that goal important to you? Go 3 deep on that because that's truly the big thing. And then what's the gap? And then once you find out what that number is, how many units it takes to close that, homes to close that, then we could back everything else up in terms of a very simple business plan. So that's why we're doing track right now. But I could go further, but I want to give Jaybee some room to breathe on this one. I've got my acronym after this. So Jaybee, you go.
Awesome. Micah, will you repeat the question just so I'm very clear?
I know. I got to tone it down a little bit.
And I forgot the question.
Sorry. No, it was so good. You were so focused on Ruben, right? So, and so we talked about doubling down, increasing your lead gen, increasing your prospecting, evaluating your business plan from now instead of waiting until January. But what if an agent is like, I don't even know where to double down. I don't even have a business plan. Where do I get started?
So I think you've just got to start with your goal in mind. And then I think it is so important to find a really good mentor, or like Ruben said, join some kind of program like that. I think first of all, you've got to get clear on your goals, because if you're not clear on your goals, the business plan won't make sense. So I would really start with getting clear on what you want. And like Ruben said, back those numbers out. So that'd be my advice.
Yeah, no, and I agree, in our business plan, and if you want it, just go ahead and send us a message. It's reverse engineering your numbers. What sources of business, what was the major source of your business? And then putting more fuel to the fire, picking no more than 4 lead generation buckets. For example, open houses, door knocking, cold calling, and Facebook advertising. I mean, those are just examples, but when you narrow that down, now you're not distracted, because we know there's a lot of distractions in real estate. It's easy to stay busy, but staying busy is a lot different than being productive and focusing on those income producing activities. So in terms of, I think you guys really hit the nail on the head. Is number one, it's about starting with your why. And as Tony Robbins talks about, your why has to make you cry. It has to be so deep that it's going to pull those emotional and those heartstrings. It can't be like, I want to make $200,000 this year. Great. But what does that mean to you?
Right.
Does that mean if you don't hit that, you can't pay medical bills? Does that mean if you don't hit that, you can't take your family to Disney World, right? You've got to like dig a little bit deeper. Does that mean that you want to move your parents in with you? Whatever, I'm just kind of throwing out some different scenarios. But step number one, understanding your why. I know that sounds a little bit cliche, but that's what's going to follow. Everything else will follow. Why is that so important to you? And then talking about having your short-term, midterm, long-term goals. So I think Ruben mentioned 3 months, a year, 5 years from now. Every single real estate agent should know where they're going to be a year from now. And I taught a class last Friday on how to generate 100 leads in 10 days in Edmond. And I asked everybody, I was like, raise your hand if you know where you're going to be 12 months from now. And nobody's hand went up. Now, I know you guys know that. So how do you determine where you're going to be? What are those annual goals? What are those 5-year goals? For those of us that are like, I'm new to this, I don't even know what that means.
You want me to jump in?
Go.
I'll jump in. Yeah, no. So this is probably one of the hardest things for people to discover is their why, because they hear it all the time. We do have a way of helping them through affirmations that will give them, especially as they join the team. They'll get affirmations. They'll get a Valley of Despair video of how bad it's going to suck for a little bit. They'll get all these things that are kind of chipping away and helping them discover that why. There's a book by Simon Sinek called Find Your Why. So there you go. That you could read or audio book, which helps you get closer to finding that why. But ultimately, I think you'd have to sit with yourself and really ponder. And this may take some time, but ponder, what's the reason you're even here? Like, what are you here to do? Where do you find that most people give you a compliment at? Usually that'll help you understand your why. It's been in front of you the whole time. So these are things that can help you discover these whys. But more to that person, like you were saying earlier, is like, I don't even know what to do. That's cool. Grind hard. What does that even mean? If high five to by the way, Alex, thank you for showing up. But if y'all been at these Winners Wednesdays since the beginning, then you've heard me say this before. I would say comms. We've been running them all year. What is comms? C-O-M. So write this down, person taking notes, Maria. Write this down. C is community, right? Yeah, taking notes. Community. O is open house. M is meat. M-E-E-T. Not like gobble down some turkey meat or something, right? It's gobble and turkey. Did you see what I did there? I don't even mean to. But M-E-E-T. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, so now, and so all I did was add a number to it. So you have from now till December 31st, right? Or 30th. 31st, right? It ends on 31. Yeah, pretty sure. So from now till then, do 12 community things. What is that? All I'm asking you to do is walk into 12 businesses and shake the hands with the people who work there. That's it. So if you're like, oh, I got a vacation for Christmas, or I'm going to go visit, fantastic. Front load a couple of weeks before that. You have 12. That's your goal. Open house, 12. If you run 12 open houses from now till the end of the year, you're going to kill it. The leads are going to have no choice but to use you. All right. We need a warning at the end that says everything we say isn't guaranteed, just in case they're like, I'm suing you, bro. But open houses, do 12. Great. You're going on vacation Thanksgiving, front load, do 2 a week for some weeks, right? And then the last M, meet, M-E-E-T, meet 12 of your friends that you haven't talked to in a while. And that could be in person. Ideally, let it be in person. But if not, on the phone, Zoom, maybe you just moved, no excuses. but show up and meet them again. Where are they at in life? How is life going? Do that. So 12, 12, 12 on your comms, you'll be able to crush it first quarter next year.
Love it. I took the notes.
Yay.
JB, anything you want to add to that?
Well, so our team and I, we just started this. We have 2 weeks to complete this, and I've got this as a free PDF for anybody who wants it. Just message me on Facebook. And this is just our goal acceleration formula. What I love about this is it starts with having you write down 25 things you want to accomplish in your life. And then it takes you through visualize what your life looks like in 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, and 2 years. And so we give the agents on our team 2 weeks to complete this because we really want them to, this is the start of us setting our intentions and what we're going to do in our business for next week. I can't do that with the agents on our team until they get crystal clear on what they want their life to look like. So I've used this for probably the last 5 years, and it's very helpful. We typically go through this, and then we have a team retreat. And then that's when we kind of like look back at where we got the business. Where do we need to dump more money into? How can we, improve here? What were we good at last year? What do we need to improve on? But none of that means a darn thing unless you really understand this. So that's all I have.
I'll add something to that. That's huge, man. And that's cool that you do that. And that's cool that you allow them to think and ponder on questions that no one else asked them, So that's huge. And that'll help them think differently. One thing I would add to that, if you want to, obviously, because we've seen it really work really well on our team, which is once they define whatever that goal is and they tell the team or they tell you, next step is have them write 2 letters, one to their family saying, I did it. I'm so excited. You guys, I love you. We were able to do this, this, and this. So proud to be your husband, your dad, your uncle, whatever it is, right? You're just excited and you're putting emotion in it. The second letter is, I'm so sorry I failed the family. I'm so sorry I failed you as a husband. I committed to doing this, but I didn't do it. Like ugly, I effed up.
Love that.
I allowed reasons or excuses to get in the way of what I committed to you as a family, or not family, maybe my best friend or whatever. And that's been super powerful. We have a who's going to soon be an icon agent going through the program at the locker room. This is where I got it, was the locker room. But they wrote that letter and they were like, they stood hard saying, there is no effing way I'm delivering this letter to my family. They became a capper and now they're soon to be an icon agent. And they're an investor now.
I can see where that would be extremely powerful. Thanks for that tidbit. I will implement that for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think, some people might be like a little bit taken back by that, like, ooh, ouch, that's a little intense. But I agree with you, Ruben and JB. I think that's, for us, when we got started, it was a do or die moment. You guys have heard our story that our youngest had some medical challenges, and it was like, I had to figure out a way because I needed to pay medical bills. Like, it almost has to be that extravagant sometimes to get us out of our comfort zone. So if some of you are kind of taken back by this, it really does take that, because as human beings, we make decisions based on emotion, not always logic. We think we make decisions based on logic, but a lot of times they are based from emotion. So if we can put that dagger to the heart a little bit and say, okay, not only what happens if I reach this goal, if I make $200,000 a year, here's all the awesome things I get to do. But as they just mentioned, do the reverse. What happens if I don't? Right. And then you start eliminating all the excuses, because we're really good at making excuses. As a matter of fact, my 13-year-old is reading. If you guys have heard about David Goggins.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's reading one of his books right now. And all of a sudden he's asking me for Post-it notes. And I was like, what do you need Post-it notes for? And he's like, because he said, put all these things on the mirror and then you look at yourself in the mirror every day. And it's almost like you trigger your brain to realize that that's an accountability partner. And then like last night, he's writing down all these excuses. He's writing down a list. And I was like, what are you writing? He said, he told us to write down every excuse that we come up. For him, it's he wants to go to the gym every day. Here's all 10 excuses of why I can't go to the gym every day. And then like last night, we came home super late. And I was like, hey, are you going to the gym? And he was like, yes, because I'm tired was one of my excuses. So, some people like it or may not, the David Goggins approach, but we almost have to do that to ourselves. I know I've always lived on the Remember Tomorrow philosophy from Jesse Itzler. I think you guys have heard of Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what can you do today that your tomorrow self will thank you for? So when I don't feel like doing something, I'm like, but if I do it now, tomorrow I'm going to be like, thank God I did it because something else is going to come up. Right.
Yeah.
So how do you guys, I think really the most important question of all of this, we know our why, we know our business plan, we know what we need to be doing. How do you hold yourself accountable?
Oh, that's a good one, Micah.
Yeah.
Well,
Dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun.
There's a quote. Oh, sorry. Go, Jaybee.
No, go ahead, Ruben.
I was just going to say there's a quote that goes something like, people move faster away from pain than they do towards pleasure. And that's it. So it's like when you do write on those Post-it notes saying all the excuses and you're looking at it and you're fighting that demon or that whatever that's telling you can't do it, that's a very powerful approach. Or you're apologizing to your family. Or when I was at GrowthCon where I met you, and the person next to me was like, oh, and you call yourself a good father because I wasn't creative enough passive and I could die at any day. Like that's the world I love and need to be in order to shock me and bring me back to reality of what is truly important. So I love those and you guys should embrace them too. How do I hold myself accountable? There is another quote that I come up with. This one I came up with. Yay. With one of my coaching clients was like, how do you stay so energized? And this is it. And it goes back to accountability too, which is I'll just say it as your energy meets you at your commitment. So when you commit to somebody, when I commit to you guys at 11 a.m., second Wednesday of every month, I've not made that commitment to myself. I made it to you. So I better show up if I want my name to hold some value in the world. So all I do is I make commitments to other people. Yeah, I like it or not. I'm tired. I got a broken leg. Like whatever it is, right? I've made the commitment to somebody else and I'm going to show up for it. So your energy meets you at your commitment. Some people like, man, I got to be energized. I got to be in it. I got to be like hyped up to do. No, you don't. Your energy will meet you once you meet with that commitment, whoever that person is, listing appointment, buyer appointment, going to the gym because you have an accountability partner there. That's what I've done. That is what has helped me accelerate the most and hold myself accountable by really allowing myself to be, I want to say transparent, that's not the word, but allowing myself to be vulnerable to others when I've already made that commitment to them.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
anything you want to add to that? I mean, it's that.
Yeah.
That pretty much hit the nail on the head, but I
did. So I think for me, I mean, the number one thing is I think it's so important to have support and a good mentor. Micah's one of my mentors. She will tell me like it is. Period. You need people like that in your life.
Am I in trouble?
Your mentor cannot be like, they can't let you off the hook. I also have a real estate coach who does not let me off the hook. And I just learned this years ago, like this book right here is to me one of the most important books I'll ever do in life, because this is setting the intention and the precedence for how I'm going to show up to everything that I do. If I don't know why, and I kind of feel like I'm sounding like a broken record, but if I do not know why, and there's not something that drives me every day my feet hit the floor, I'm accountable to what? To me, the getting clear on your why is some of the most important work that you can do. So have a good mentor. You have to have a really big why. And I don't do Post-its, but I have a little sheet on my vanity mirror when I'm getting ready every morning, it has my affirmations, which is important. If you're not doing affirmations in the morning, please just try it for 30 days, and I promise you'll see your life change. Your whole mental state will change. But I also keep my goals up there, and I just look at those goals every morning, and I'm like, what can I do today to move 1 inch closer? And I go for it. I make things happen. And I think you have to have that kind of mentality in order to move forward in the things you want to do in your life.
Sure. I mean, that kind of goes back to even having a vision board, right? I have a digital vision board that's the wallpaper on my phone. And it's not just business related things, it's personal things as well, like health and family and being a good spouse and being a good mom and, all these things. And every day I want to look at it, just like you said, Jaybee, and say, okay, I did something to make a step forward. Some days are bigger than others, so don't be so hard on yourself. But I did something to improve this bucket, whether it's a personal or professional. So I couldn't agree more. I think these are all great things, and that's really what it boiled down to. Ruben talked about your energy, and that's one thing that Tony Robbins always talks about. We always focus on the how and the strategy, and that's only 20% of the equation. 80% is your mindset, your psychology, and your energy. And so, think about that. How are you presenting yourself to the world? How is your tonality? How is your energy? Everybody meets our youngest son and they just love him immediately. And it's literally the energy vibes that he's giving off. And that's how you need to look at how are you presenting yourself? How do you stay all excited like Ruben every single time we talk to him? He's, excited and he's using his hands. He's got high energy. Jaybee's always very focused and knows exactly where she's going, and she's leading a large team. And that's a lot of pressure, right? That's a lot of pressure on any leader. So how do you stay in that zone every single day and keep inching forward? So with that said, I know we're coming here at the top of the 30 minutes. Any last words that you want to share with those watching?
Hit it, Ruben.
Oh, I guess, man, I want to say we close 90% of these like this. Just do it. Just go out there and do it. But, I guess when I first got into real estate, I needed to hear that a lot, and write it on everything. Like I used to write on my clocks, time to get to work. It was everything around me said work more, do more. And that's why you see like work harder, trust hard work, like all around me. So that's what it's going to take is you effing up a lot. And that's okay. You're going to fail forward a lot. So just start failing forward today. So that way in 90 days, you got a deal. That's what I would say.
Speaking of, my alarm used to say, literally, get your ass up and go change the world.
I love that.
With a little fire symbol.
Yeah.
And then a smiley face.
Emoji.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I know we're here at the top of the 30 minutes. I really appreciate you. Sorry, guys, that we're a couple minutes behind. Totally my fault. Technical difficulties. I'm at an Airbnb, and I guess the internet was not cooperating with me this morning. So I appreciate everybody's patience and sticking around. And we do this session every single week, but with Jaybee and Ruben, as he mentioned, the second Wednesday of every single month. So if you have any topic ideas or things that you'd like to hear us discuss, please feel free to go ahead and comment below or submit them privately to us using social media. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Bye, guys.